Today we're talking about my personal Sigma Cine Prime set and why after a year of using these lenses, they've become my favorite lenses for filmmaking and videography. For the last year, I have been using the Sigma high-speed Cine Primes and want to talk to you guys today and give my kind of year-long review of these lenses and again, why they've become my personal favorite lenses. And so let's dive right in talking about the overall image performance of these lenses. Now, before you immediately click away because you know the price tag of these lenses, stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to give you some budget alternatives if you are on a lower budget wanting to get similar or the same performance of the Sigma Cine Primes. And so again, make sure you stay to the end of the video to check out some alternative options to these lenses. Over the course of the year that I've used these lenses, I've absolutely fallen in love with the image performance of these lenses. They are going to be a little bit more modern and clinical. Now that may be a turnoff for some people, but I personally love it, especially for a lot of the projects I'm working on lately are corporate projects for the company that I work for. And so I'm able to take my personal Cine lenses and use them on set for those projects. And so they absolutely fit my needs, having that more modern and clean look. You are going to have a t1.5 aperture and the out of focus areas are going to be really pleasing, but they're also going to offer really good low light performance. And so again, the aperture is going to be something that I love about these lenses. Now that being said, there are a couple things I want to make you aware of. One is some of the lenses are going to have some chromatic aberration and they do have pretty noticeable focus breathing. Now beyond that, something that I do appreciate about these lenses is for the most part, they are identical or near identical to each other as far as overall image quality, color rendition, and just how they perform as a set. And that is not something you get all the time, especially when you start looking at budget options. And so that's something that is nice to see is you do get that consistent performance between these lenses in the set. And so like I said before, I absolutely love the overall image quality and performance and just the image that these lenses produce. And so let's go over and talk about the build of the lenses because that is going to be arguably the biggest reason why you're going to invest in the Sigma Cine Primes. You are getting a full metal design with a physical aperture and focus ring. The focus rings do have a 180-degree focus throw, which in my opinion is perfect for solo operators because it's not too long where you need a focus motor and it's not too short like a photo lens. And so you are able to get a little more fine-tuned focus with that 180-degree focus throw. Beyond that, the mount that these lenses are offered are EF, Sony E mount, as well as PL mount. Now the newer versions of these lenses do have a PL mount with Cook eye technology. Now all the lenses have a unified 95mm outer diameter, which is great for smaller matte boxes. And they do come with an 82mm filter thread. Some do have an 86. This is something I wish I knew before I bought some of my lenses, is that some of the lenses do have an 86mm filter thread. The one I have personally is the 85mm, and so I have to use a step down ring to use my 82mm filters, which is not a huge problem, but I do wish that all of them were 82mm across the board, but that is something you may want to know, again, if you are shopping for these lenses. I love the overall build of these lenses. They are very solid, sturdy lenses, but they're also relatively small for cinema lenses, and these are pretty well balanced with the Sigma FP, especially if you're rigging up the Sigma FP. But let's talk about my overall thoughts and who I'd recommend these lenses to if you're in the market for a set of cinema lenses. Now, if you can't tell, overall thoughts, I love these lenses. With the Sigma FP, I just love the overall image that these lenses produce. Now, who would I recommend these lenses for? Honestly, if you're looking for a solid set of cinema lenses, these are a great option. Now, with that said, I did say at the beginning of the video that I would give you some alternative options. One is going to be to actually just pick up the HSM photo version of these lenses because honestly, optically, they're going to be identical. That would be my first response and first alternative option to these lenses. Now, if you absolutely need cinema housing, you could potentially look at taking those photo lenses and rehousing them or re-sleeving them. That would be the more budget-friendly option to simply just re-sleeve the lenses. But another alternative too is to simply just start with a smaller set of Sigma Cine Primes. Something you may want to look at is to just buy one or two Sigma Cine Primes and gradually build the set from there. I'll be honest, I could probably do most of the things that I do with the 35mm and the 50mm, which is what I originally purchased. And honestly, I could probably use the 50 for almost everything. And so that's one thing you may want to consider, is kind of changing that mentality if you want a good set of cinema lenses. And this is not even applicable to these lenses necessarily, but maybe higher priced cinema lenses, is look at it from a smaller lens set kind of option, instead of looking at some of these budget cinema lenses that you get a 10 lens set. Look at something that is a little bit smaller, that may be a little bit pricier, and gradually build from there. So this is not necessarily like money talk with Anson, just tips for how I've managed to build my cinema lens set on a relatively low budget. So that's it for me. I hope you guys found it helpful to hear my thoughts about these lenses after a year of using these lenses. If you do have any questions about the lenses, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Peace.